everyone, welcome to my channel Go Commerce. In this video, we will dive into Unit 1 of UGC NET Paper 1, which is Teaching Aptitude. So, without any delay, let's get started. First of all, what is teaching? Teaching is a planned, interactive, and goal oriented process through which a teacher helps learners acquire knowledge, skills, attitudes, values, and critical thinking abilities. Then, what is aptitude? It is an ability to do something. When we combine teaching aptitude, it is the ability to teach. And a teacher should understand how a learner learns and how a teacher should teach. Objectives of teaching. Coming to the objectives of teaching, the main objectives are to develop knowledge, improve understanding, build values, develop problem solving abilities, and ultimately achieve the modification of behavior. Now, imagine a scenario about teaching a kid to ride a bicycle. You don't just hand them a rule book and walk away, right? You interact with them, hold the bicycle, and guide them until their behavior physically modifies and they can balance on their own. So, have you ever thought to learn a skill like cooking or driving? It's exactly the same concept. Levels of teaching. This is one of the most important topics from Unit 1 and also an UGC NET exam favorite topic. The three levels of teaching. First, we have the memory level teaching, which was introduced by Herbert, which focuses entirely on memorization, recall, and facts. Here, the teacher's role is dominant and the student's role is passive, where they just by heart what is being taught. Next is the understanding level teaching, introduced by Morrison, which focuses on understanding concepts and logical thinking. Finally, the reflective level teaching, given by Hunt, focuses on critical thinking, problem solving, and creativity. Here, the teacher is a facilitator and the student is highly active. Now, let's connect these levels with an example. Let's use baking a cake as an example. Memory level is like you just memorize the recipe without knowing what any of the ingredients actually do and you just bake a cake. Whereas understanding level is when you finally learn why you
Make the
add the
cake
cake rice. So that is understanding level of teaching. Coming to reflective level, which is the highest level, it's when you open a fridge full of random leftover ingredients and you invent a brand new delicious recipe from scratch to solve your hunger. You are being creative and problem solving, right? So that's a reflective level of teaching. Learner's characteristics. Moving on to the learner's characteristics, every learner is unique and differs based on four main characteristics, which are cognitive, emotional, social, and physical traits. Starting with cognitive characteristics, it includes intelligence, learning style, memory, and thinking ability, while emotional characteristics cover motivation, attitude, and interest. Social characteristics revolve around family, peer groups, and environment. Lastly, physical characteristics include age, health, and energy levels. Now, imagine trying to teach different friends on how to play a video game. One friend is totally exhausted from a long day at work. That's a physical characteristic. Another is super competitive and highly motivated to beat you. That's an emotional characteristic. A third friend needs to carefully read the tutorial and memorize the controls before starting. That's a cognitive characteristic. Finally, the fourth friend prefers to play in a cooperative mode because they grew up gaming as a team with their siblings. That's a social characteristic. As a teacher, you have to adapt your teaching style to match who is in front of you. Factors affecting teaching. What makes a class succeed or fail? It comes down to these factors which affects teaching. Firstly, teacher factors include subject knowledge, communication, experience and personality. Secondly, learners factors include interest, motivation and intelligence of the learner themselves. And finally, institutional factors involve the infrastructure, resources and technology available. Now, imagine you have the best, most experienced teacher in the world, which is the teacher factor, and a student who's incredibly eager to learn, the learner factor. But they are in the noisy room with broken chairs and no Wi Fi, which is the institutional and environmental factors. The teaching process will still suffer even though there is a best teacher and a eager learner just because of the noisy room, right? So it's a team effort between the people and the environment. Teaching methodologies. Now, the next question, how do teachers actually deliver information? We divide this into two categories, teacher centered and learner centered methods. Teacher centered methods focuses heavily on instructed content delivery, which includes lectures, demonstrations, and explanations, whereas learner centered methods focuses on deep student engagement and active participation, which includes discussion, projects, seminars, case studies, brainstorming, and problem solving.
Sorry,
For example, teacher center is exactly what I'm doing right now. I'm giving you a lecture to explain a topic to you. But if I pause this video and give you a case study about a struggling school and ask you to solve their problems in the comments below, then that instantly becomes a learner centered method. Digital learning platforms. Do you know that in recent years, education has gone digital? MOOCs stand for Massive Open Online Courses, which are designed for large scale participation and open access through the internet, allowing learners to study remotely. Swayam is India's national MOOC platform launched in 2017 by the Ministry of Education, providing free access to quality education. Then we have Swayamprabha, an initiative by the Government of India that provides free 24 into 7 educational television channels through DTH satellite and online streaming. Imagine a student living in a remote village who wants to study computer science. Through Swayam, they can take a course directly from an IIT professor completely for free. And if they don't have a strong internet connection, they can turn on the TV and watch Swayam Prabha via DTH. Now, what does this DTH stand for? Give me your answers in the comment section below. Swayam, four quadrants. For UGC NET, you absolutely must know the four quadrants of Swayam courses. Quadrant 1 consists of video lectures. Quadrant 2 is the e-content or study materials. Quadrant 3 covers self-assessment like quizzes and tests. Quadrant 4 is the discussion forum for doubt clarification. Let's understand this concept with a simple example. You are playing a new phone game, okay? So, quadrant 1 is when you watch a small video in the game that shows you how to play. Quadrant 2 is when you read the text on the screen that tells you what the buttons do. Quadrant 3 is when you play the very first easy level to test your skills. Then quadrant 4 is when you ask your friends for help when you cannot beat a hard level. So I think now you have understood the four quadrants, right? Evaluation system. Evaluation is how we measure if educational objectives have been achieved. There are four main types of evaluation that you need to remember, which includes placement, formative, diagnostic, and summative evaluation. So let's see what they are. Types of evaluation. Placement evaluation happens before instruction to check prior knowledge, like an entrance test. Formative evaluation is continuous and happens during teaching to provide feedback, like a class quiz. Diagnostic evaluation identifies specific learning difficulties so the teacher can plan remedial teaching. Lastly, the summative evaluation happens at the very end for final grading, like your semester exams. Let's say you want to join a gym. The trainer checking your current fitness level on day 1 is placement evaluation. The trainer correcting your posture during a workout is formative. If you keep getting back pain during squats and they analyze your form to fix the exact weakness, that's diagnostic. And stepping on the scale at the end of the year to see your total progress, that's summative evaluations. Finally, let's talk about CBCS and CBT. CBCS stands for Choice Based Credit System, which is a student centric system allowing flexibility in choosing courses and earning credits across semesters. Whereas CBT stands for Computer Based Testing, which means conducting examinations through digital platforms instead of paper. CBT features automated evaluation, time control, and online examination. Basically, CBCS is like walking into a buffet. Instead of the university forcing you to eat a set meal, you get the flexibility to put whatever subjects you actually want on your plate. And CBT, well, you are all preparing for UGC NET, which is literally a computer based test. No more filling in bubble sheets with a pencil. A computer automatically handles your time limit and grades you instantly. So, we have come to the end, and that's all for today's video on teaching aptitude. If this helped you understand the topic, please hit the like button and subscribe for more UGC NET videos. Leave a comment below if you have any questions. So, see you on the next one.